This goes well with Batman, but...
Here we go. Gotham City lives.
Yes, Gotham City. Where is Batman when you need him?
Me, as a kid, 7th grade, it's a January night. Batman comes on the air, premieres on ABC TV. And this comic book geek, this comic book collector who loved comic books, loved superheroes, and Batman was my favorite all-time superhero, much more than Superman or the Hulk or Spider-Man. And I'm watching this show come on. And, well, it's cool because it's color, somebody's spending a lot of money on it, the car's really neat, but I'm horrified that the world is laughing at Batman. It killed me. And that night, kind of like young Bruce Wayne over the body of his parents when they were shot in the street, when he decided that he would get all the bad guys and one person can make a difference in this world, and he began his path to become Batman. For me, it was not as dramatic. I think I just decided that somehow, someday, I was going to show the world that the real true Batman, the way he was created in 1939, was as a creature of the night stalking criminals from the shadows. And that somehow I was going to wipe 3 words out of the collective consciousness of the world culture: pow, zap, and wham. I'm a blue-collar kid from New Jersey. My dad was a mason, my mom was a bookkeeper. I couldn't buy my way into Hollywood. I didn't know anyone in Hollywood. I didn't have any relatives in Hollywood. My last name isn't Warner. I only have one brother. And for me, it's the story of how I, at every opportunity, try to put my foot in the door and tried to make a path and carve a path. And if I just said when I was a kid, oh, I'm gonna produce the greatest Batman movie ever, dark and serious, I might as well have said I'm gonna jump across the Grand Canyon. You can't do it. But if you keep taking steps that lead you on a certain path and don't let anyone, friends or anyone else, veer you off course, you can, if you have the passion, if you have a high level for frustration, you can do it. That's how I did it. These dark, serious Batman movies, the Batman franchise, was built on my bloody knuckles all the time. People telling me no, that's the worst idea they ever heard. Every single studio, everyone in Hollywood told me I was crazy. It was a terrible idea. Columbia Pictures said, Michael, come on, you're nuts. Batman can't be a successful movie. Our movie, Annie, didn't do well. I said, are you talking about the little red-headed girl who sings Tomorrow? I said, yeah. I go, what does that have to do with Batman? And they said to me, oh, come on, Michael, they're both out of the funny pages. And that was my rejection from Columbia on Batman. So what I thought, when I bought the rights to Batman, I raised some money, I bought the rights to go out and do my dark, serious movie. I thought it was going to be a slam dunk. I thought everyone was going to line up my doorstep and say, oh, we see it, sequels, animation, toys, games, merchandise. Yeah, we get it. It took me 10 years from the time I bought the rights to Batman to get that movie done. 10 years. It became a human endurance contest. I loved one review at the time the first Batman movie opened, and just like The Dark Knight, it was a cultural thing. It broke all these box office records. And one reviewer said, the overnight success of Batman. And all I could do was laugh. All I could do was laugh.
I would cry. But I guess, you know, it's kind of got to have humor in it, I guess.
You know, as I tell when I'm lecturing at the colleges and I tell the kids, there's only one thing I can promise you. Every one of you. Only one. Doors will slam in your face when you get out of school. They absolutely will. So when that happens, what are your choices? Well, if you think about it, there's really only 2 choices. You go home and you cry about it.
Or you say, I can.
Or you pick yourself up, you dust yourself off, and you go back and you knock again, and you knock again, and you knock again. Because if anything's a matter of luck, or if anything's a matter of timing, it's the knuckles. This is what makes your luck. This is what ultimately makes your timing. The question is, do you have that high threshold for frustration that can get you to last as long as it takes to do that? Everyone, the answer is different.
Well, I think what's interesting is everyone who's viewing this is interested in the internet entrepreneurial space, but the lessons are the same. You get told your idea is crazy, that it's stupid, that it will fail, that you'll never succeed, and you get door after door after door slammed in your face. You try to raise money, nobody will invest in you, and then you become Mark Zuckerberg. No, just maybe.
For me, one of the worst rejections I ever got came from a certain exec at a certain studio, and he was brutal to me about a dark and serious Batman. 10 years later, when we broke like virtually every box office record, he called me. It was about 2 weeks after the movie opened. He says, "Michael, I'm just calling to congratulate you on Batman. I always said you were a visionary." And I had an epiphany. And it's, if you don't believe them when they tell you how bad you are and how lousy your ideas are and your work, and then if you don't believe them when they tell you how wonderful you are and how great your ideas and your work are, and you just believe in yourself and believe in your own work, you'll do just fine. And that was a lesson I needed to learn along the way, and it took me 10 years, but I learned it. If you follow your passion, my dad did it. He was a mason. He loved what he did. He was an old world artist. He was a craftsman. He did the most magnificent structures out of bricks and stone and marble, fireplaces. It was great. He loved what he did. He worked 6 days a week his whole life. It didn't matter what the weather was. From the time he was 16 and dropped out of high school to help his family survive the Depression until he was 80. He would have kept going, but my mom got sick and he had to stop and take care of her. Every day before dawn, 6 days a week, my dad got out of bed, big smile on his face, couldn't wait to get to work. And my brother and I go, wow, that's what we want. Wake up on a rainy Monday morning and say, I can't wait to get to work. And for me, I finally figured out my bricks and stones were comic books and movies. My autobiography, The Boy Who Loved Batman, will be out from Chronicle Books in fall of 2011. I'm also lecturing at universities and colleges all around North America through Greater Talent Network. They've been booking me at places everywhere, and I love talking to college students in particular. It's a passion of mine. And I figure if every time I go and speak at a college, if I can inspire 1 or 2 kids, then my 10 years in the trenches pays off.